Gonzaga, undefeated on the season, and I believe they're going to run the table and be undefeated for the rest of the year. So they got Dixie State tonight, which if you're not familiar, Dixie State, one of the four new Division I programs who moved up this year, and actually played pretty decent. Some of the scores I had, they're doing all right, so I think they're going to get a game tonight, but I checked the Vegas line. I believe it was 40 points. So that should tell you something. So it was 39.5 last night against Northern Arizona, and they didn't cover because Jalen Suggs didn't play. But be curious to see if he sits out tonight as well. And then they get into that West Coast Conference starting January 2nd. So they got San Francisco on January 2nd, who, of course, perhaps the biggest upset of the first week of the season when unknown San Francisco Dons upset the number 4 Virginia Cavaliers at the time. So that was a big win for them. So you know they can compete. I'm not saying they're going to beat Gonzaga, but hey, you know, they've obviously shown when they're on their best day, they can beat anyone. And they beat Virginia now. Gonzaga absolutely waxed Virginia. I watched the entire game on the weekend. It's so good. I mean, Corey Kispert, career high 32. Drew Timme, I think Drew Timme had a career high 29 as well. So you could see that Virginia made a conservative, we're going to shut down Jalen Suggs, get double, triple team. Yeah, cool. Well, you're going to leave 2 other NBA guys wide open. Corey Kispert hit a shot about 90 seconds into the game that was just like money, set the tempo, and that was it. He was on fire. You know, I'm sure you saw some of the highlights where at certain points of the game, you know, he was going Damian Lillard. He was taking a few steps inside half court and putting it up, and they were going in. It was unbelievable to watch. And so what that says is, you know, Jalen Suggs, best player in college basketball. Gonzaga still doesn't necessarily need him to win a championship. Now, he's going to help lead them to a championship by the way all things are looking right now. Knock on wood. You know, hope everyone stays healthy. And but what it shows is, you know, Gonzaga isn't a one-man machine. If they need 32 from Kispert to get it done, well, gosh darn it, he's going to do it, and they're still going to wipe the floor with you. You know, we saw it earlier when Suggs got hurt against West Virginia. Andrew Nembhard comes in, and he gets it done. And Nembhard, you know, running the point last night against Northern Arizona with Suggs on the bench, and it's still a finely tuned machine. Everyone still looks great. You know, Timme, Ayayi, you know, chipping in with 18 rebounds and here and there. They're just so deep, so loaded. So loaded. I didn't even mention in last week's pod, they signed Ben Gregg, so they had a 4-star kid out of Oregon who was going to commit and come play next year. Well, he ended up graduating early from high school, and he's now on the squad. So this is another guy. Gonzaga just got better this week, if you can believe that. They've added a 4-star player to the lineup. And so we'll see maybe in some of these games coming up. So then they got Santa Clara. Santa Clara, I think 6-1 right now, just off the top of my head. I believe they're 6-1. Pretty good team. Josip Vrancic, Jaden Bediako, the Canadians, who are, you know, they got some big guys, but I just don't think they have the athleticism to remotely compete with Gonzaga. So that's January 7th. Then we go January 9th, Portland. I mean, stop. They're going to run over them. Pepperdine, yeah, okay. On the 14th, January 16th, St. Mary's. St. Mary's, at last check I saw, they're 8-1. I think maybe 8-2 now because San Diego State whacked them last week. But a decent team, but this isn't the St. Mary's of years past where they have NBA guys. They don't. They look slow. They look lethargic. It's not one of Randy Bennett's best teams at any point in the past decade. So although St. Mary's looks good on paper, I don't think they're going to come close to Gonzaga. Then we go January 23rd. They got Pacific, head coach Damon Stoudemire, Jabril Noel Price, one of my guys from Scarborough on that team. But they've been good, but they ain't going to run with Gonzaga. January 28th, San Diego. 30th, Pepperdine again. Loyola Marymount, no. Now, here's where I do think they could get caught. February 6th, and then I think the 27th, which is the last game of the year, they played BYU. Now, BYU, I think right now, what are they, 9-2? And BYU, you know, they always a little bit older, right? A lot of their players, Mormon guys who've done their Mormon mission, 2 years away from basketball, and then they come back and play. So BYU traditionally a lot older than most college basketball teams, so they got some men on the team. And I don't think they're going to be fazed or in awe by Jalen Suggs or, the mustache, Drew Timme or Corey Kispert's lovely hair. I think BYU is going to come in and play. They're going to compete. And so on BYU's best day and Gonzaga's worst day, is it possible? Well, we're going to find out. So, a bunch of games in between then with all those same teams I just mentioned. San Francisco again, St. Mary's, San Diego Pacific. But I think if there is a chance, February 6th at home against BYU, or the very final home game of the season away at BYU, February 27th, that's probably going to be the best chance for Gonzaga to be caught. Otherwise, I just can't see it.